The Eternals has finally arrived. Your boy Jody Joe got to see it. What did I think?
Gracias por ver la esquina de Jody. Thank you for watching Jody's Corner.
YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. I'm Jody Joe. Thank you guys for being here. This is going to be a spoiler-free movie review for The Eternals. Got to see it tonight with my boy Louis Lecca, aka the Nerd Report, my favorite. Shout out to him. That's my guy. Saw this thing in IMAX with a full press crowd, and it was absolutely glorious. This movie review will be spoiler-free, and I'm going to release a spoiler-filled review a little bit later. Or should I add spoilers at the end of this? Nah, I'll add a spoiler review a little bit later. Eternals. It's basically about cosmic beings who were living on Earth some 7,000 years ago, living all the way to the present, to the point where a convergence is happening and they need to act in order to save the world. I'll leave it at that. That's where we're going to leave it. That's it. That's all. I love this movie so very much. Now, you guys know, if you guys watch Jody's Corner often, you guys know that I said that this movie was going to be the best movie of the MCU. There was a feel that I had from it, from director Chloé Zhao, the look of the trailer, the story it was telling, the score, everything that I was seeing was incredibly different from what the MCU is. You think about Martin Scorsese, Christopher Nolan, and all these other actors and actresses and directors who said that, who alluded to cinema and sometimes how Marvel doesn't really make cinematic value type of films. They make movies. They make popcorn movies. This is hands down the single and only film that Marvel MCU has released. And it's got my name all over it, baby. I love this movie. I'm trying not to smile. I love this movie. Jody Thomas. Listen to me. Really love this movie a lot. This is the most beautiful movie in the MCU. Now I'm talking about scope, scale, cameras, clarity, CGI, and Chloé Zhao's amazing direction style with natural light. This is the best looking MCU movie. It beats Spider-Man Far From Home. It beats Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Those two are like the best looking MCU movies that I had before this one. This one beats those. This is the best looking MCU movie. Arguably, I think this is the second best score of the MCU. I still give the original score from Ludwig Göransson for Black Panther above this one. This is the second best MCU score. It's magical, it's beautiful. And you guys know that the score has been released. And hearing the score on its own, I listened to it on Spotify. It's available on Spotify for you guys to listen to. Just type Eternal Score if you guys want to listen to it. I listened to it and I'm like, this is beautiful. But the other half of that comes when you watch the movie, because the piece of visual media that they put behind that score is what makes that score epic. So it got even that much better. So it's the second best score of the MCU. I just can't get over Ludwig Göransson's, ancestral plane in Black Panther. That was just fantastic. Listen, this is the best looking, best score. This is arguably, I would say this is the second best cast that I've seen in an MCU movie as well. Listen, going down the list, you have 10 Eternals. Eternals have been birthed from Celestials. These 10 Eternals, 5 of them being more brainy and scientific, and the other 5 being the warriors. Chloé Zhao said that herself. She was absolutely right. We have, I don't know the names of all of them, but the brainy ones, which is IKEA Fall Collection. He's the first LGBTQ character, and yes, we get our first LGBTQ kiss in this movie, like they talked about 2 years ago. We have the little girl who is his power is he's able to use technology better than the rest. And then you have the little girl who has the ability to do some cloaking, shape-shifting, doubling type of scenario. And I don't think I need to list all the rest of them because I don't think you guys might want to find out on your own. Okay. Then you have the beast mode. So these are the 3 characters that I remember. These are the 3 main characters that you will remember, including the tactician. I just forgot his name. Thena, who was Angelina Jolie's character. She was fantastic in this movie. Cersei, who is the Asian woman who was in all of the trailers. She's fantastic in this movie. And Icarus. He's played by Richard Madden, a.k.a. Superman. First, let me talk about Richard Madden. He's Superman. He has implemented Superman, and it's weird to me. And I need the DC fans, and I hope some DC executives are watching this video. It is a shame, a crying shame, that hurts me in my heart as a lifelong Superman fan. Superman fan is my greatest hero of all time. Number one, always has been. My son's middle name is Kal-El. It's serious out here. The simple fact that Marvel is putting more respect on Superman than DC is a freaking shame. And DC needs to be ashamed of themselves right now. Because the shit that they put in that movie talking about Superman, bro, and shedding light on it, you know, it really offends and hurts me as a Superman fan. I just need to let you guys know that. Oh, by the way, cast Richard Madden to be Superman, please. The love and respect that even Kevin Feige shows for DC. Kevin Feige, the Marvel boss, shows more love for DC characters than DC shows. Shit is weird to me. But anyway, it makes you think, what if Kevin Feige controlled DC? I mean, I'm really at that point almost. But anyway, I digress. This story is fantastic. It takes you through 7,000 years of time from when they first got there, before they first got there, to the present, and dealing with the issues of the present. The story is masterclass in this movie. They're talking about ancient times. It takes you through history. And I love history. It's my favorite freaking subject in high school. History. Love it. And it intertwines the Eternals all up in there, bro. It's really, really, really nice. And to know that these characters each and have their own vision, their way of thinking. They're not just robots, you know what I'm saying? They're a lot like humans. And they're very powerful, but they're not as powerful as you would think. They're very killable. They can be killed. The Deviants in here are, some of them are weak, some of them are very strong. So you have scales. Just like you have scales of Eternals, you have scales of Deviants. This movie is basically the story of the Bible. Let me break it down for you guys. This is the best way to break down the story spoiler free. Deviants are the fallen angels, the bad angels that belong to Satan. And the Eternals are the angels sent to earth to look after us. And in this movie, God are the Eternal, or the Celestial. The main Celestial, I forgot his name. Aegis, I forgot the Eternal. You know the guy's name with the 6 eyes. Whoa. That motherfucker. He's like the god. And their job as Eternals are to not interfere unless Deviants are involved. So says the trailer. To watch humanity flourish and grow. Very angelic, very biblical. This is very biblical. They took a lot of this stuff from ancient history and the Bible. So it's very easy to understand. You've probably heard this before. And I think it's beautiful. I love it. The costumes are great. The cast is great. The acting is great. There's a couple emotional moments here. This movie just screams epic. It's grand in scale. This movie opens up the MCU like no other thing ever before. Kevin Feige, if you make movies like this, you got a lifelong fan in me. I'm here to see. Release that bullshit kitty Guardians of the Galaxy Thunder Lord Love and Thunder trash for sure. I'll watch that too. Trash. But I'll stick around for movies like this that you release. These beautiful cinematic, great driven storytelling movies. I'll stick around. Fan for life. If you keep dropping some of these every now and then, I'll take it. This is what feeds and pleases me. This is the movie that I needed. This will get me through another year of Marvel. Ready for the next hit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like a drug addict out here. This right here, Captain America Winter Soldier was a fantastic, thick Kush blunt. Civil War? Oh, Civil War was that Coke. Let's go. Eternals? This that Heisenberg blue. This that blue math. You know what I'm saying? All the leaves are gone and the sky is gray. California. I'm high out here, bro. This that pure crystal meth from freaking Albuquerque, courtesy of Heisenberg. Or Jesse Pinkman. He could cook the stuff too. This is stellar. This is fire. This is what I needed. I love this movie. I also said that this is going to be the best movie in the MCU, and I'm going to wait, because on November 4th, when this movie officially releases, I'll be watching this movie with the Just Us League, and that'll give me a nice week, a week and a half to soak this movie up. I got 1 week and a couple of days to soak this movie up. And then I'll have an answer for you by November 4th when I release the spoiler review. Until then, I love this freaking movie. This is already top 5. This is already top 3. It's like that. Listen to me. There's no flaws of this movie. I think about what could have, because I like to critique things. I mean, I will critique and say some of the Eternals aren't fleshed out enough. Some of them are annoying, I would say. There's lots of action in here. There's a nice display of action. I mean, this is just great. Chloé Zhao hits this one out the park. And people told me that this has mixed reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and I started to celebrate when I heard that. Really? Rotten Tomatoes has issue with this? That means it's probably going to be great. And that's exactly what it is. This is another thing I want to hammer home. This opens up the universe bigger than ever before. Like, it really makes Thanos, it makes Avengers, it makes Captain America, it makes Civil War, it makes those iconic movies, it makes Black Panther, it makes those movies look small, like so small. When you think of the scope that this movie brings, Eternals will be known as the movie that should have taken place after Endgame, in my opinion. I think this feels like the first movie of Phase 4, even though it's not. Black Widow was, which makes no sense at all. That movie shouldn't even have been made based off what they released. But Shang-Chi did a good job as well. I understand Shang-Chi doing his thing, but this feels like the very first movie post Thanos. When you think about, dang, what we gonna do after Thanos, man? Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, Black Widow? Nah, Eternals, bruh. This is the movie. This is the story. It's the beginning of the next plan of Kevin Feige, and it starts here. After 5 years go by and we actually get some resolution in the MCU, we will come back to this movie and see where it all started. This movie is fantastic. I hope you guys see it in the biggest screen possible. I'm glad this is only in theaters. I'm glad that the Marvel fans are going to be able to experience what I feel like I've been experiencing as a DC fan for a while. Cinematic comic book movies. This is Marvel MCU's first cinematic comic book movie. Ladies and gentlemen, of those Marvel fans and fanboys who've been calling DC dark and gritty and whack, well, get ready. Here comes some dark and gritty and whack. Awesome Marvel your way with Eternals. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I give Eternals A+. Oh, it's that kind of party. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'm Jody Joe. Subscribe to the channel for the real content. And I'm out this thing. Deuces. Oh, had to come back. Guys, sorry. Disclaimer. There's 2 end credit scenes. I'm thinking about doing a video about those end credit scenes. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to hit those. I'm really thinking about making a separate video explaining what those are, because one of them is like, wow, y'all going deep. Well, both of them are like, fuck, you going deep. We got the end credit scenes and we saw them. It was nice. A lot to talk about there. They are digging deep in the MCU, guys. Put it in the comment section. Let me know down below. Now I'm really out this thing. Deuces.